Aspire 13.5 just landed, and here everything in it in one breath. Our design dashboards and app host that can now ask you for files and show live progress. A real terminal you can play a game in. Kubernetes storage you can define in a code, and a way to plug into Azure resources you don't even own. That's 5 things, one release, and I am going to show you all 5. So stick with me to the end because the last 2 are the ones that will actually save you time in production. And the reason this release look different is worth knowing upfront. The last few versions of Aspire were all about adding new capability, full TypeScript supports, new CLI stuffs, Kubernetes and Docker Compose deployment. A lot got added fast. So this time the team basically hit pause and said, let's polish what we have already built instead of building on more, which is exactly why the first things you have will notice is how it looks. Both the dashboard and aspire.dev homepage got redesigned, and I want to be clear, nothing moved. Same layout, same functionality, everything exactly where you left it. They just made it look sharper and double checked contrast and accessibility while they were in there. But the look isn't really the interesting part. It's what is hiding underneath it, because underneath the new coat of paint there is a stack of small fixes that add up. Log search is a case insensitive. Now you can filter log and traces by exact timestamps or number. If the dashboard loses connections to the resource, no longer breaks the live streams on none of these. Instead of handling feature they are broken on, but failures this show you the release where the dashboard stops instead of a row exceptions is where it gets genuinely useful. There is something called the interaction service, and it is what lets your app host actually talk back to you while you are developing. A resource command can ask you a questions, validate what you type, throw up a notification, whatever it needs to do. And in 13.5 they gave it the one thing people kept asking for. It can now accept file uploads. So say you had a command called import configuration, click it, a real file picker opens right there in the dashboard. It takes JSON or YAML, enforces a size limit, and stream the file strength into your app host. No more drop this in a magic folder and run a script from the readme. And if the operation take a while, you know, get an actual progress dialogs with a cancellation built in, which by the way is still a preview features. So don't build your whole workflow around it yet. Speaking of things that talk back, some resources are not quite background services. They are REPLS and shell that need real input and output. Before that release, that meant keeping a separate terminal window open and just remember which one belonged to which resource. Now you add one line with terminal, and that resource get its own live terminal session inside the dashboard itself. You can type into it directly, jump between replicas, and multiple people can even watch or type into the same session at once, which is exactly how the team ended up proving it works. Remember that guessing game from the very start of this video. That's it. A JavaScript resource launched straight out of a TypeScript app host, fully playable inside the dashboard, completely unnecessary. Also kind of the perfect way to show the feature actually work. Okay, so now we are getting into the two I told you to stick around for, and this first one's for anyone running Aspire against Kubernetes. You can now model persistent volumes right inside your app host, set the storage class, the capacity, the access mode, and attach into a project or container directly in the code. So if you have got Postgres sitting in their needed durable storage, you just declare that right next to where you already define Postgres, and Aspire takes care of emitting the persistent volume, claim, and rendering the whole thing as a stateful set behind the scene. And here is the second one, because most real app don't own every piece of infrastructure they touch. Maybe there is a shared service bus namespace sitting in another team's subscriptions or another tenant entirely. Aspire 13.5 added 3 new methods for exactly that: as existing in resource group, as existing in subscription, and as existing in tenant. So now you can point straight at infrastructure that isn't isn't yours. Keep the names and scopes as parameters instead of hard coding anything. And the whole reference is still lives right there in your AppHost model where everything else does. And picking it up got easier too. The CLIs now on Homebrew, Winget, NPM, NIX, Miss, and Nougat. So just grab it however you already install things, and Aspire update self still work no matter which one you used. So that's Aspire 13.5, our dashboard that finally looks and feel as a good as it works, and as a host that can talk back to you with file uploads and live terminals, and a lot of more honestly about how your infrastructure actually looks in production. If you are already on Aspire, just run Aspire update. If you are starting fresh, so grab that CLI and follow the get started guide. Either way, go build something with it. So that's all for this session. Please feel free add the comments. What do you want to next for this topic? Thank you. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.